よデジタルカメラ。迷うな。
これなんかいいですよ。見た目も性能もバッチリ。
待てい。薄いんじゃ。
軽いんじゃ。
速いんじゃ。
洒落てんじゃ。
3倍ズームじゃ。
ディマージ X
買うんじゃ。
デジタルカメラのニューヒーロー、ディマージ X。
買うんじゃ。
どこの？
Minolta.
The Minolta Dimage X, the latest technology from 2002. This is a 2 megapixel ultralight compact camera that I got recently at a flea market for €1, and today I thought I would take it for a spin. I came to this very beautiful area here in Vienna. This like nature park with a great view. I'm gonna go to like a couple of different spots here and give this baby a try and see what kind of pictures you can get with it. And yeah, as I go along I'll tell you a bit more about the camera, so let's go. So when this camera first came out in like 2002, it was actually like a world premiere, or kind of like a world's first, because what it does is, you see when you have this camera, the sensor is actually at the bottom of the camera, and the way it works, you have this lens, right, at the top left, or top right, and the way it works is basically you have like prisms, or like mirrors inside, and the light gets kind of reflected to the bottom. So with a normal camera sensor, you would have like the sensor at the back, but here you have it kind of reflected, so this kind of like this optical reflection of the lens also allows for actually optical zoom. So within this camera you can actually zoom up to like 3 times, which is pretty unheard of for like a small compact camera without like extending basically. And I think this technology is also used today in, for example, the newest Huawei smartphone, the P30 or whatever it is. I think it also uses the same like kind of technology to like basically zoom. But the problem with this technology that they invented, I mean, it's a pretty new and like very interesting way of doing this. But the picture quality kind of gets really worse with it. So yeah, I'll show you in a second. So to make this a proper camera review, I brought some spec sheets with me. So let me just read some of them. So you get like 2.10 megapixels actually. I said 2.2 before. You got the image resolution of maximum of 1600 times 1200. You have 3 times optical zoom, as I said. You have like an ISO that's either auto 100 or 200, so not a pretty big range. And then one of the interesting things about the camera is that it actually also has video. You can shoot video with it, but there's a big but. It only shoots at 15 FPS. That's one of the big buts. The second one is it only shoots black and white. And then the third thing is the video quality is at like 144p. So probably not gonna replace my video camera, but you can also record audio. So you can record up to messages of like 1.5 minutes at a time, which I think was useful in 2002. And then one of my favorite things about the camera is actually it has a Ccd sensor. Ccd is like a sensor type that was used in older cameras, and it actually has a really big upside to it. I'll get to that a bit later, but let's walk around a bit more, shoot some pictures, and just enjoy this nice day, I guess. So I think I just turned my camera into a film camera by accident. What happened was when I was sitting down, the LCD screen just kind of broke. Now it's completely black. It still takes pictures, but I just can't see them. So yeah, it's kind of like a film camera now, which is cool, I think. Involuntary film camera. About the camera, and it's the sensor. So it's a CCD sensor, The CCD sensor is a type that's been used in like older cameras, so anything like 10, 12 years old, especially like compact camera, they used CCD sensors, and then they were replaced as kind of time moved on with the CMOS sensor, which is like, for example, the Sony that I'm filming on right now, or any modern Canon or anything like that. So the CMOS sensor, the advantages of it are it has like a higher megapixel count, it's cheaper to produce, it doesn't break as often, so those are the advantages. But the advantages of the CCD sensor is that within the camera it actually produces a lot nicer colors than a CMOS sensor can produce, which is kind of nice because you don't have to go to your PC, you don't have to edit, you can just get really nice colors just by shooting JPEG. Battery ran out on the camera. I'm just going home, but thought I will give some final thoughts on the camera. Well, what I like about it is probably the colors. Well, I haven't seen the pictures, so I'll do a picture review once I get home. But I like the colors. I like that it's really small, pocketable. And I like that it's only costs like €1 when I bought it. Except like I had to buy the charger and I had to buy like an extra memory card because it didn't take my big memory cards. So if you want to use it, you have to take a memory card to less than 2 GB. Otherwise it won't work. And yeah, but then there's some things obviously that are bad, like the picture quality, battery life and stuff. I think those are things that they actually improved in the later versions, so if I can get my hands on those sometimes, I might give it a second try. This camera was an experiment, it was a fun experiment, but I don't think I'm gonna use it anytime soon. And yeah, look forward to the picture review once I'm home. And welcome back to the picture review. So it's actually 2 days later now, but well, I took the weekend to edit the pictures. I wanted to talk about some of the pictures that I took, why I like them, why I don't like them, what the camera can do. So let's start with picture number 1. I took picture number 1 actually on the way to the spot that I was shooting at. So I really liked this light kind of in the shadows. And yeah, you can see what I was talking about, the colors. This was straight JPEG, just from the camera. I didn't edit it at all. And it's really nice, like the colors are really bright, really like vibrant, straight out of the camera. But you can also see some of the negative stuff that I talked about, like the picture quality is kind of I mean, in the center it's really good, but then on the outside, like the edges, they're really blurred and like not really usable, I would say. But color-wise, really good. So let's take a look at another picture. For example, you have this close-up of the flowers. With this picture you can kind of see the dynamic range of the camera. So it was a lot of shadows and highlights in the picture, and yeah, the highlights are kind of blown out. The shadows are kind of like very crushed, or the blacks are crushed. But otherwise I think it looks kind of nice, you know? Surprisingly, like the dynamic range is pretty decent. It shows you midtones, it shows you highlights, it shows you the darks. And yeah, I think that worked really well. Colors again, really nice. But then you can see the edges, the corners around are really blurred. Let me show you a negative example of the dynamic range, which was this picture. We had like these 2 trees that were kind of backlit from the sunlight. And it actually looked really nice. The scene, like the trees were green, like a lot of sunlight coming through them. But then when I took the picture, it just kind of came out completely like fucked up. There's chromatic aberration, it's completely blue, the white balance is all over the place, it's dark, it's like this the highlights are blown out. And yeah, it basically looks like a mid-2000s phone picture, which I guess if you're looking for that kind of aesthetic, yeah, this camera is a good option, I would say. But if you're looking for like any nice pictures in a lot of situations, maybe not. So yeah, let's take a look at, for example, a good example, which is like this water shot. You have like the water at the bottom, and then the background is really like blurred and bad, but then the bottom part, the water, really nice colors again, great. A lot of details, surprisingly. A lot of like not even like noise or anything. Let's take a look at one more picture, which was these flowers. So the camera can actually shoot macro. It can shoot up to like 25 centimeters, so 1/4 meter. It just didn't really work here in this case, but otherwise the details were quite nice. Again, corner blur, colors nice. I think you can kind of summarize the camera in that one sentence. Color's nice, picture quality bad, corner blur really bad. That was it for the camera review. So as a kind of a roundup, what I can say is the camera is really cheap. It has really nice colors, but then the picture quality is really bad, and it's, I don't know, it might break easily because my screen just broke. But it's a good camera if you're looking for exactly one thing, and that is this like 2000, early 2000s, mid 2000 kind of early digital camera aesthetic, which is kind of what, you know, film got popular a couple of years ago. Nowadays maybe this kind of aesthetic will be popular, who knows, early digital, I could imagine. If you enjoyed this kind of like old camera review and you want to see another one, let me know what kind of camera you would like to see. If you liked the video, thumbs up would help, subscription would also help if you want to see more content like this, and then I guess I'll see you in the next one. I will hopefully be shooting with a normal camera again. See ya.